All right. I want to switch on to. I want to switch to the next topic. This next topic is basically a question. I'm kind of curious about. We were playing Ill Bleed, and I started to look up a game guide because there was something I wanted to see. We weren't sure if we were able to save this character who had died. So I went and I looked up a game guide for it. And I always get, and whenever I do that, and whenever I talk about doing that, I always get the jokes of, oh my God, game facts and all of that stuff. You know, oh man, it's been a while since I've ever been there. And I always wondered, it got me wondering, so I wanted to ask you guys, do you still use online game guides? Do you still go to GameFAQs to look up stuff? Or do you go right to YouTube videos? I was kind of curious about that. Or do you just go to Twitter and ask questions? Like, what do you do when you're having trouble in a game? Because let's be honest, some puzzles we need help. We have to ask somebody else. And I'm just curious to see if what you guys do when it comes to getting stuck in a game. Like, do you still use GameFAQs? And I remember Game Winners used to be a thing, but I think they're gone. So I was just kind of curious about that. I use GameFAQs all the time, especially for older games. I don't know that I'll use GameFAQs for newer games just because I'll check it, but I don't expect much. But for older games, definitely, because people always wrote that, you know, if I need a walkthrough for Chrono Trigger for whatever, I don't know why I would need a walkthrough for Chrono Trigger, but if I needed a walkthrough for that, I know there's one on GameFAQs. That, you know, I know there are several on GameFAQs. Hey, Greg, I never stopped using GameFAQs. Oh no, let me go back and check some of these out. Yes, getting the true endings to Super Robot Wars without a fact is a real nightmare. All the damn time. I go to YouTube vids if the guide is confusing. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I'll look it up or I'll ask in Discord. Nice. I use YouTube. Shadow, you said you'll look it up or you'll ask in Discord. Do you ask in our Discord here that you can be a part of if you follow along and subscribe? Well, you don't have to subscribe. You just follow. Like Ultima and Kingdom Hearts 2, I was cemented on where to find the XYZ ABC materials. A bit of both when I'm stuck after no choice. YouTube vids are helpful. Strategy wiki for RPGs due to the time constraints. Okay. And being scared of being lost. YouTube and guides. What do you go to first? I see a lot of YouTube and guide. What do you go to first? I would use guides and ask for help. And look, guys, when I get stuck in a situation and get tired of trying to solve it on my own after a while. With that said, I have watched Let's Plays to help me. But okay. I go to GameFAQs, then general Google search, then YouTube. Okay, I like that. What do we got? Autumn Clearwater. Thank you for inviting me to the host club. I still, especially if I'm playing an older game like Neverwinter Nights, so the guide makes no sense. If the guide makes no sense, then I go to you. Okay, so it looks like guide first and then YouTube. So it's nice to see that people are still using guides. Kind of depends on what I'm looking for. Mostly it's YouTube since I can see in the game where I'm supposed to. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm going to jump ahead here. Oh, I'm not that far. Yeah, YouTube is best for getting collectibles. I go to the IGN walkthrough first. Oh, man. It depends on the game YouTube main. If it's an older game or if people I watch don't have something. Okay. I did both for the shrines in Breath of the Wild, but always guides first. Oh, okay. Reform. If I don't know if you know this, but I actually did a guide for the 120 quests in Breath of the Wild, and I did another one for how to farm the 3 dragons all in one night. So feel free to go to YouTube. Those are actually very popular videos, by the way. I always wanted to do more guides because those videos actually did very well. My problem with the not the shrines, the quests, the 120 quests. I had a problem with that because all the guides that I found would mark it by area, They would list it by area or something, but not by the list as it is in game. So I finished them all, and then I did a YouTube video where I listed all 120 quests in the order that they're in the game menu, so you can read along with my video and then decide. You could see for yourself which ones you were missing. What? Fuskanu? Is that did you say, what did you almost say, Fuda? IGN's good for walkthrough, I guess, guide for a hint, so to not look at walkthrough. Okay, so yeah, I kind of do that too, Elements. I like to look at the guide because I can look at something very specific, and not, if I watch a video, I have to go through a bunch of stuff. Your guide helped me for Breath of the Wild. I needed a checklist. See, Siberian Ninja? That's what it was for. I did that because nobody else had one. Fuda Hype. Swedish site for cheat codes and hand. Fuskanu. Okay. Fuska.nu. Fuskanu? Or what did you say, Fudanu? Fuska is cheating in Swedish. Oh, okay. Negate the feeling of cheating as much as possible. Yeah, you know what I used to do? I used to, when Beth was there to help me, I would ask her to look it up. And she would look it up, and I would tell her, like, to do a search and do keyword search so that we could find specific things, so that I didn't have to look up the cheat. I didn't have to look it up at all. And I was always very quick to... I would take a long time before I got to the point where I said, all right, just look it up. I think I did it for Tomb Raider, the reboot in 2012 or whatever. Yeah, it was somewhere around there. And I did it there. I asked her to look up some stuff. What bothers me the most is when she would look it up and say, okay, you need to run and jump and grab that. And I'd been trying that for the last 30 minutes. And then she would read it, and I would do it again. And then it would work. It's like I did this. I was doing the same exact thing that I just did, but now it worked. Okay, Spectre. Sorry for not saying much. Just having some problems. Yeah, I hope Spectre. Hopefully, okay. Yeah, Spectre is everything all right. I hope so. Kind of section you go hard when you go hard in the paint. With looking at a guide, and you basically have all the puzzles memorized. Yeah, I try not to do that. Hey, Homecoming. I just remember also do have some video game guides on specific games I use for reference. Oh, okay. It got me thinking the other day when I was looking up the Illbleed stuff, and I always, like I said, it's always that situation where you get the jokes like, oh man, classic game fact. Like, do people even still look at the guides? It just made me wonder. Yeah, Sage just showed up. You got to do the same thing since I read the game. What? Since I read it, the game knows you're weak.